as Comstock will jump for Rutland against Travis Paterni of Middlebury. Tap controlled by Dorian of Rutland, but had it knocked away over to Audette of Middlebury. Here's Robinson now as the Raiders open up the man-to-man. Robinson spins away from Dorian. Free throw line jumper off the back of the iron. No good. And it's nearly rebounded by Dorian, but into the hands of Meyer. His jump shot left baseline, no good. Rebounded by Madison of Rutland. Here come the Raiders in the forecourt. Middlebury in the man-to-man as well. Over to Dorian, right side of the circle. Now to LaFaso, he travels. Boy, do we see that play a lot.
A lot. Yeah, just gets the pass from Dorian, and then in the act of playing his feet, turn into address a shot or a pass, shuffles his feet.
Robinson operates in the backcourt. Greeted at the timeline by Dorian. Robinson slowly into the forecourt now with the dribble near midcourt. Sends it on the bounce over to Audette. Audette right side of the lane, shut off there by LaFaso. Stolen away by Dorian with only Robinson to beat. To the bucket, off the window, no good. Loose ball comes down off the top of the head of LaFaso into the hands of Audette. Now to Robinson for Middlebury. Quickly down the other way. Offensive foul as he pushed off on Dorian as he took it to the bucket. Great play by Dorian.
Good play at both ends. The previous play, Dorian with that breakaway, just a little bit hard off the glass. As he let the defender cut in underneath him, but a good play back at the other end for the Raiders inbound.
Comstock rolls the ball into play to Dorian. We're scoreless a minute into the ball game. Championship game, Rutland Holiday Basketball Tournament, boys basketball. Evans, top of the key. Into Comstock in the lane, has it knocked away into the hands of Audette. He hands it off to Robinson now for Middlebury. Tigers into the forecourt between the circles. Robinson sends it over to Audette, right hash mark, checked by LaFaso. Audette spins to the baseline, or to the sideline, hands it off now for Burns. Burns on the bounce inside to Paterni, faces, fires, left block, around the rim, no good. Meyer taps it into the corner to LaFaso. And what do we have?
We have a whistle finally.
Got to be something as the water cooler's in the 5th row right now.
Referees converse.
Well, it's going to be Rutland basketball. Out-of-town scoreboard from the Meadowlands. We're scoreless. Patriots Giants. In the forecourt now, LaFaso, right sideline. Comstock has it between the circles. Operates against the man-to-man. With the basketball, directs traffic behind the arc to the right. Looking for Evans on the right side. Block kicked out of bounds by Burns. That might be as close as the Giants get, you know.
You never know. But you're a Giants fan today.
I'm starting to falter a little bit in my bandwagoning of the Giants in tonight's ball game. Off the inbounds, it's Comstock wrestling it away from Burns. Comstock in the lane, down the lane, off the window and in. Raiders on the board first with just about 2 minutes into the ball game. They lead it 2-0. Robinson shakes away from Dorian. In the lane, down the lane, the floater, no good. Dorian with the rebound. He starts the fast break into the forecourt. Stops at the free throw line and backs it up to the left. Harass there, goes across court, LaFaso. Baseline jumper short from 12, rebounded by Paterni. Paterni to Robinson, ahead of the pack for Burns. Burns left wing, stopped there, has it poked away by Comstock. Runs it down left sideline, now to the left baseline. Tries to bounce it into Meyer. Knocked out of bounds by Madison. It'll be Tiger basketball, left baseline.
Madison, good hustle. Just got back into the passing lane there. Wasn't a particularly good pass, though. It hit him in the shin.
Robinson sends it to Meyer, left wing, now on the bounce, left baseline for Audette. Double teamed in there by Madison and Comstock, and he's forced to throw it across court, but we have a whistle. It'll be a foul against Rutland. It's on Akeem Evans, his first, team's first. This just in, the Patriots have signed Scott Norwood.
You're digging them all up now.
Meyer off the inbound, left sideline, goes to Robinson, underneath the Burns, blocked out of there by Madison. Great elevation by Tyler Madison to knock it away, Raider basketball.
That's the kind of hustle that's gotten Tyler Madison a lot more playing time. He has played good at both ends of the floor. Good hustle defense there, flying across to get a piece of that basketball.
Going into the forecourt. The left wing stops there, sends it to Comstock between the circles. Over to LaFaso, stops from the left wing, tries to bank it off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Meyer, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson, just about 3 minutes into the ball game, 2-0 Rutland. Foul on LaFaso of Rutland.
LaFaso's first, just trying to get after the basketball there and got a little too much jersey.
Here's Burns right in front of us off to our right. Now he sends it in the backcourt for Robinson, 5'7" senior guard, checked by Dorian. Both wear number 10. Over to Audette, now to Meyer, tries to get in there, but Madison knocks it away. Run down by Middlebury, it's deflected in the backcourt. It's chased down by Robinson as Robinson and Dorian go at it. That's going to be some matchup here this afternoon. Robinson's still with it. Free throw line on the left now for Meyer. Over to Audette, left wing. Stops outside the left part of the lane and drains it. Tied it 2. 4.5 to play first quarter. Dorian in the forecourt. Up top, now between the circles to the left. Stops on the curl to Comstock. Has it knocked away by Audette, but Evans runs it down for Rutland. Over to LaFaso, tries to shovel it into Comstock. Out of bounds off of Comstock. It'll be Middlebury basketball. 4:14 to play first quarter. We're tied at 2.
That was a good look by the Raiders there, but Comstock just couldn't get a handle on that pass.
Robinson into the forecourt. Raiders still in the man-to-man. Holds his dribble and bounces it to Audette, right sideline. Looks and now sends it up top for Burns. They swing it right to left over to Robinson. Inside on the turnaround. No good. The shot by Boturney. Knocked away by Rutland's Comstock. He bounces it to Dorian. Dorian now to Madison. In the lane, down the lane. The layup no good, but he got fouled.
Looks like Travis Boturney.
Yep, that's the first on Boturney. His first, team second. Tyler Madison, 15, a senior, be the line for the Raiders to shoot 2.
Well, you're right. That matchup between Lance Robinson and Robbie Dorian, that's going to be a fun one to watch for the remainder of this game.
First shot for Madison around the rim and out. He looks at another one in a moment. 3:48 to play opening quarter, tied at 2. Blistering pace offensively to start this ball game. Must be the sun in everybody's eyes.
Sun's finally starting to give us a break.
Madison misses both. Evans runs it down, but it's taken away by Audette. He hands it off to Robinson. Quickly fires it to the forecourt to Burns. Right baseline. Blocked out of there by Madison. It's going to be a foul on either Comstock or Madison. And it's on Madison. So 3 team fouls already against Rutland. First on Tyler Madison. It's going to send Tucker Burns, 6'4" senior, to the free throw line for the Tigers to shoot 2 in a 2-2 ball game.
Exactly opposite of the first game we saw today, where by this time there was close to 30 points on the board in that game. And there's our 5th.
Burns knocks it down. 3-2 Middlebury. Shots away, it's good. Burns knocks them both down. 4-2 Tigers. Dorian in the forecourt to Comstock. Now over to LaFaso. 3-ball, left wing, good. Just like that, 5-4 Rutland. Any Raider with 3 threes gets the bomb sub for Pasquale's. 1/3 of the way home already for LaFaso. He shuts off Audette, and Audette travels. Good defense by LaFaso in the right corner.
Yeah, LaFaso getting back and just kept Audette's foot there. He just couldn't keep it stuck to the spot.
Dorian operates now slowly in the backcourt. Now dances into the forecourt, sends it near the right hash mark for LaFaso. The Comstock up top. Thought about the 3-ball, opts against it. Instead, takes it down the lane off the window, no good. Rebounded by Boturney. Outlets it to Robinson in the forecourt, down the right wing, now to the free throw line, down the lane, off balance shot, no good. Rebound Robinson. Well, actually, it was Madison to Evans. Evans tries to bounce it ahead of the back to Comstock. Kicked by Burns. It'll still be Raider ball.
Team's gone right after it here. The scoring's been kept to a minimum, but up and down action. Comstock to inbound.
Off the inbounds, Comstock to Dorian. Back to Comstock. Down the lane, no good. Rebounded by Travis Boturney. So Robinson fires it quickly down the left sideline for Burns. Burns dances to the left baseline. Wild shot, no good. Rebounded up and in by Meyer. Tucker Meyer gives the Tigers the 1-point lead at 6-5. Here's Dorian. LaFaso, 3-ball, left wing, good.
Second. Good look by LaFaso, open 3.
And a steal by Dorian. Goes to the floor. LaFaso goes to the floor. Robinson on the Raider bench. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be Middlebury basketball. Is Dorian and LaFaso. Thinking it's Doc Collins Field more than the Keith Gymnasium. Tiger basketball is Burns will put into play. On the lob inside to Paterni. In the lane. Knocked away by Dorian. Out of bounds off of Dorian.
Good play by Dorian, though, as it was a wide open layup, and Dorian just stuck his hand in, knocked it away.
Oakley Clark, 6-foot junior, into the lineup for the Tigers, replacing Bill Audette. Robinson sends it up top for Burns. Outside the arc from the right. Cross-court pass intended for Robinson. Nobody home.
I don't know why. I think Robinson could have got that ball. I don't know what he was thinking, if there was someone behind him or what. He didn't even leave his feet for it.
Raiders with the ball, the 2-point lead, 2:10 to play, clock moving first quarter. LaFaso tips it away from Clark. Gets it to Madison, back to LaFaso, right wing. LaFaso already with 2 3 balls in this first quarter. Here's Comstock, left wing. Down the lane, he lays it in.
Good, hard driving move by Comstock.
Quickly the other way, Paterni has it. Left baseline for Middlebury. Now to Burns, left elbow. Shot blocked by Evans, but Paterni runs it down. Now to Burns, in the lane, down the lane, poked away. Taken away by Akeem Evans. Here comes Evans to Madison. Madison in the forecourt, sends it for Comstock, right wing. 4-point Raider lead. Just about a minute and a half to play first quarter as Comstock goes to the glass. It's knocked away from behind, but he was fouled. It's going to be on Tucker Meyer. First on Meyer, third on the team.
Both teams with 3 team fouls now.
Mark Comstock at the line to shoot 2. Father Billy should be here in attendance. He also a Giants fan. Comstock misses the first of 2. He'll have another.
I think everyone's excited for a football game or something.
Just trying to add some excitement, as Comstock gets 1 of 2, and we have a substitution now as for Rutland High, Cedric White. As his grandparents' building happens to be Ricky Battles, and he's sandwiched by the 2 carpenters down below at the scores table. He must have drawn the short straw as far as that goes.
You know what, though? Back to, how many times do you see it? End of the half, team looking for the last shot, get something like that. That's not the shot they wanted.
No.
It was about a 25-foot 3-point shot after they had taken off probably 35, 40 seconds to the clock. It happens a lot. You just can't get it in and get the shot you want, and you kind of want to get that clock down to the last shot, but you also want a good shot, and it just works out. Raiders didn't get the shot they wanted. Middlebury's got a 26-24 lead.
Body Tech Nutrition halftime show brought to you by Body Tech Nutrition, Merchants Row in downtown Rutland. Bird Fat, Feed Muscle. Middlebury leads it over Rutland 26-24. The consolation game played earlier today was won by Mill River 50-44 over MSJ. Coming up after this, we've got the consolation in girls basketball, Mill River and MSJ, and then the championship, Rutland and Middlebury. Busy day here on Vermont Sports Leader, WSYB.
We've got a long ways to go yet.
We're not even halfway home. We're getting closer, though. Every tick of the clock, we're getting closer to being halfway home. 2-point lead for the Tigers over the Raiders here from the Keefe Gymnasium, and we continue on with our Body Tech Nutrition halftime show after this 2-minute timeout.
Grilliers Chrysler
Show here at the Rutland High Keefe Gymnasium, brought to you by Body Tech Nutrition, Merchants Row in downtown Rutland. Burn Fat, Feed Muscle. Middlebury leads it by 2 over Rutland, 26-24, and here's Rick Goeke with the scores and fouls.
And Middlebury turned that 13-10, the first quarter deficit, into a 26-24 halftime edge. And for the Tigers, showing the way, Bill Audette and Tucker Meyer with 6 apiece. Tucker Burns and Travis Paterni with 5 apiece, and Lance Robinson with 4. And that's pretty much all of our starters are in the books, with nobody else contributing as of yet for the Raiders. Mark Comstock leads the way with 12. 1 3-pointer to go with that. Brendan LaFaso has 6. Both of those came on 3s. And Akeem Evans with 4. And the Cedric White with 2. And that pretty much wraps up foul trouble. There's not much. Travis Paterni has 2 for Middlebury. Tyler Madison 2 for the Raiders. And other than that, there's nobody else in any serious trouble.
And the Tigers first to make their way out of the locker room. Raiders are right behind them. This shapes up to be a A tight ball game down the stretch, Rick, and like we saw in game one, fouls and free throws were huge. Let's see if that perhaps could be the same scenario here in this second half.
Yeah, you know, Middlebury Rutland had a chance already. Put Middlebury in a pretty good-sized hole there and were unable to do it. Middlebury was able to get back in this game and now has the 2-point lead. So you got to think they've got a little bit of momentum on their side now as we head towards the half. And also, you mentioned those foul shots. Middlebury, according to what I've got here, is not missed from the line. 7 out of 7. And Rutland is 3 out of 6 to this point, so could be a telling story as we go on. But Middlebury probably with a little bit of momentum edge right now.
Both teams back out on the floor, warming up, getting set for the second half. As our Body Tech Nutrition halftime show continues on, we'll be back to talk more about it and get ready for the second half of action after this 60-second timeout. As we get set for the second half of action here in the championship round of the Rutland Holiday Boys Basketball Tournament, have the consolation and championship coming up in girls basketball action after a brief intermission. About an hour or so.
A little over an hour, yeah. Probably by the time it's all said and done.
I think we go back on at 5:50 with the pregame show and the consolation game. Here in the championship of the boys game at the half, Middlebury leads it over Rutland 26-24. As Rick had mentioned, Rutland had a 3-point lead after one. And Middlebury clawed back to tie the ball game, I think, on the three-pointer, and then they took the lead.
I think they tied it at 21, and then they traded threes again to 24 or something like that. Maybe it was 24 that they did. But you know what? We've had, this is our third game here in this tournament. They've all been good basketball games.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Middlebury will start the second half with their original starters, Robinson, Audette, Materney, Burns, and Meyer. Rutland will counter with their starting five, Madison, Dorian, Evans, LaFoxo, and Comstock. It'll be Middlebury basketball going right to left in the second half. And they operate, sending it in the backcourt to Robinson. We're underway second half. Middlebury on top by 2. Off the skip jump, Robinson fires it to Audette, left sideline, back up top for Robinson. And quickly, Chris Altamose from Middlebury wants a timeout 9 seconds into this third quarter. Didn't like what he saw developing or not developing and decided to talk it over. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Didn't take him long to see something because you very seldom see that. A timeout that early with nothing really going on to that point. So Chris Altamose saw something, and, you know, this could be a big, maybe he saw something that's really going to help the team here. I don't know.
Hey, that's odd because you come right out of the locker room making the adjustments.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of possessions in a basketball game, but it would be a good start for either ball club to come out with a good possession to open play in the second half. But nothing doing that way for Middlebury as Coach Altamose quickly took the timeout. Let's see what develops as the end result.
I don't know if we had enough time to see what they might have adjusted anyway.
Yeah, really. Rutland in the zone defense now, 2-1-2. Robinson over to Burns, back up top for Robinson, sends it to Meyer, left baseline, runs it down, back over to Robinson, back over to Burns, left wing now to the baseline, the shot no good, rebounded by Meyer in the lane, left side block, sends it across the lane for Burns, one dribble to the baseline, leaves it for Paterney, free throw line over to Audette, now to Meyer, left side block, stolen away by LaFoxo, here come the Raiders. LaFoxo into the forecourt, stops outside the lane and drains it.
Boy, you made that look easy.
We're tied at 26. As Robinson double teamed near the timeline, sends it to Paterney, now to Burns, left wing on the corner. Shut off there, he shuffles it off to Robinson, cross court to Audette, 3-ball, right wing, good. Audette knocks it down. I think that's his second 3-ball of the ball game.
It's third.
Is it third? Wow, it's a 3-point lead for Middlebury. And he raided with 3 threes, just a bounce up from Squally. Says Dorian in the lane with the floater is good.
Dorian hadn't scored tonight. Needed that one right there.
What they didn't need was the third foul on Tyler Madison, which he got right at midcourt. Third on Madison, first on the team. 6:40 to play third quarter.
Yeah, that Well, he's got 3 baskets tonight, all 3-pointers. They've all been wide open looks.
Cedric White at the scores table. He'll check in for Madison. Next whistle is a 3 ball is missed by Burns. Rebounded by Madison. Outlets it to LaFaso around the back to the right side block as it poked away. Goes to the floor with Robinson, taken away by Meyer. Here come the Tigers with the ball and the 1-point lead. Audette over to Burns. Right wing now to the right baseline. Shut off there. Block foul on Comstock. First on Comstock, second on the team.
Comstock just trying to shut him off down low.
Madison out. Cedric White in for Rutland. Off the inbounds, Meyer has it over to Burns. Now to Audette. He's got 3 threes. He's got it behind the arc on the right wing over to Burns. Sends it across to Robinson. Left sideline. Cross court now to Audette. To the free throw line for Paterni. Over to Robinson. Left wing now to Meyer. Left baseline. Shot underneath. Blocked by White. Taken away by Evans. He play inside by Cedric White. Dorian into the forecourt. Stops the dribble, right wing, bounces it to LaFaso between the circles. LaFaso goes over to Evans, left wing. Down to the left elbow for Dorian. He backs it up. Sends it over to Comstock left corner. 5:36 to play, third quarter. Inside to White. Sends it over to Evans, right baseline. Evans off the window and in, and he got fouled.
Good job by Evans. Didn't look like much, but just enough from Tucker Meyer to pick up his second foul.
Yep, second on Meyer, first on the team. Team Evans gives the Raiders the 1-point lead, 30-29. 5:31 to play, third quarter. Has an opportunity to add to it, and he does not. Loose ball goes out of bounds off of Rutland. It'll be Middlebury ball as Tucker Burns has it. Still inbounds, right in front of the Raider bench, off to our right. The ball inbounds to Robinson. Full court pass. Hit past the Meyer who laid it in. Oh my, what a pass. Middlebury retakes the lead by 1 at 31-30. Dorian on the bounce to Comstock, left corner. Gets it over to Dorian, cross court to Evans on the right. Inside to White, off the window and in. And the thing that Cedric White did effectively there was made himself be seen. He put his hands up for Evans to find him. The other way, Comstock with the steal. Raiders with the ball, the 1-point lead, under 5 to play third quarter. Comstock, left wing. Goes up top to Dorian, sends it across for LaFaso. LaFaso back to the left for Dorian. Back to LaFaso. Free throw line to the right. Shot no good. Loose ball rebounded by Meyer. Outlet to Audette, now to Robinson. In the forecourt, back to Audette. Streaking down the right sideline. Stops and pops right baseline. No good. Rebound Dorian. Ahead of the pack for Comstock. Chases it down right corner. Back to Dorian. On the bounce to Evans. He lays it in.
Good job by the Raiders now with passing around. Getting the open look.
3-point lead. Steal by LaFaso. He tried to take it up the court and had it knocked out of bounds by Middlebury. It'll still be Rutland ball.
Well, the other thing, they were back to Cedric White, who was working on Tucker Meyer down the right. He was able to be seen under there, but he got himself great position on Meyer. Meyer couldn't do anything but foul him, and he didn't do that. He just stayed behind him.
LaFaso has it now to Dorian. Dorian, right wing, Evans, now to Comstock. Right sideline, back to Dorian. Redirecting traffic over to LaFaso to Evans. Left side, now to Comstock. Left baseline, no good. Loose ball rebounded by Robinson. Robinson tries to go through LaFaso. LaFaso takes it, now Meyer has it. His shot's a wild one in the lane off the glass, no good, but he got fouled.
Should be Comstock, I think.
Yep. Second on Comstock. Third on the team here in the second half. Tucker Meyer, 6'1" junior at the line for Middlebury, shooting the 2 free throws.
Tucker Meyer found himself with the ball in his hand and going down the lane. I don't think that's what he's accustomed to.
Misses the front end, has another one coming.
He's more of your post-up guy. Getting set to check in. Oakley Clark.
He'll be at the scorer's table now for Middlebury if Meyer makes this one, which he does not. And White saves it on the baseline. Much to the chagrin of the Middlebury faithful here, by the way, I might add. Comstock, right wing across court to LaFaso on the left. Stops inside the three-point line and nails it. 5-point lead for the Raiders, 3.5 to play third quarter. Burns goes to Paterni underneath the basket, trapped there, nearly stolen away by Dorian, but Robinson gets it back to Paterni, can't catch up to it. Smacked out of there for the Raiders, ahead of the pack. LaFaso, he lays it in. Timeout, Middlebury.
Great pass by Dorian, too, to LaFaso, wide open at the other end.
Full timeout taken by Middlebury with 3:13 to play third quarter. It's a 7-point Raider lead back after this 30-second timeout. Picking up the intensity on the defensive end, convert the turnover ahead of the pack for LaFaso.
Getting some good defensive pressure and leading to some good transition points by the Raiders here. And now again in a position to really put Middlebury in a good-sized hole here, up by 7.
Robinson, the point guard for Middlebury. Slowly into the forecourt. Stolen away by LaFaso. Ahead of the pack for Dorian. Lays it in. 9-point lead. Evans with the steal. Goes to the floor. Held ball. It'll be Rutland ball.
You know, now you go back to that timeout they took at the start of the half, and I don't know what it was all about. They just had to use another one. Didn't come out any better here for the Tigers.
You're absolutely right, Rick. They had to take a timeout 9 seconds into this third quarter. They just took one there. Turnover, Rutland bucket. Here's Evans with it. Between the circles, on the curl for LaFaso. Right wing, in the lane, down the lane. Leaves it off for Evans. Power dribble in the lane. No good. He got fouled. Foul's going to be on Oakley Clark of Middlebury, his first, second on the team. Akeem Evans at the line for the Raiders, shooting 2. Looks at the first one, it's good.
9 points in the night now for afternoon for Evans, 1 out of 2 from the line.
2:44 to play, third quarter, 10-point lead for the Raiders. Here's Evans' second free throw around the rim and in. I think this is the biggest lead of the ball game now. 11-point lead for the Raiders. Clark has it in the 4. Actually, that was Collins. Checked in. Collins now to Clark, left corner. Shots away, no good off the top of the backboard. Rebound Evans. One dribble out of there, gets it to Dorian. Dorian now, backcourt into the forecourt. Goes to White in the lane, looks and fires. Blocked from behind by Audette. Here come the Tigers. Audette over to Collins. Collins back to Audette, left wing, cross court for Clark. Over to Collins, back to Clark, right hash mark, back to Collins. Collins in the lane to Paterni, shut off there. To Collins in the lane, the wild shot, no good. Loose ball rebounded by Comstock. Evans goes to the floor with Burns, but here's LaFaso, 3-ball, left corner, no good. Rebounded by White. Resets it to Dorian, now to Evans, in the lane, down the lane. Shot blocked from behind. Evans runs it down, loose ball. People going to the floor, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
You know, Middlebury, I don't know. Tucker Meyer's on the bench right now, but things have changed underneath the basket without Tucker Meyer in there, and Rutland is really owning it at both ends of the floor.
Well, the result of that scrum off to our right is the held ball possession arrow favoring Middlebury.
I like dogs and cats living together.
That's right. Famous Gil Murray line in Ghostbusters.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Off the play, here comes Collins down the lane, looking for Burns, or Paterni knocked away. Here's the head of the pack, LaFaso. Pump fake off the window and in. Good feed from Comstock. He found LaFaso. 13-point Raider lead. Timeout, Middlebury.
Wow. See if this one is any better for the Tigers.
Full timeout. 1:16 to play third quarter. Raiders lead it by 13 back after this 30-second timeout. What did he say?
I don't know what he said.
Aaron Eaton, the assistant coach for MSJ, trying to talk to us. I don't know if there's a problem with the power or something. Or... Yeah, Yeah, there is if you're Middlebury. There's a big power outage going on here in this third quarter. The Raiders lead it by 13. Raiders still in that zone defense off the inbounds. Collins, 3-ball, straight on. Wild shot off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Cohen. His putback, no good. Fouled by Dorian. Second on Dorian. And the fourth on the team. Low fouls here in the second half. 2 on Middlebury, 4 on Rutland. Off the inbound. Cohen way up top. Sends it over to Bertani. Now to Collins. Collins on the bounce, left elbow for Bertani. Now to the left side block on White. Loose ball is rebounded off the missed shot by Collins. He sends it back for Audette. Right side of the lane, now to Bertani, right elbow. On the wing on the left side. 3-ball, no good by Burns. Rebounded by White. White to Evans, now to Dorian, to LaFaso in the forecourt. Shut off left corner, back to Dorian to Evans. They swing it left to right, over to Horvath, who checked in. His shot no good, right baseline. Gets the rebound, shot no good on the putback. Number 12, Kyle Horvath, into the lineup for the Raiders for the first time. So Tigers operate in the forecourt. Audette, 3-ball, right wing, good. Shot that one from Cornwall.
Yeah, indeed.
It was deep.
4 threes for Audette.
Cuts the lead to 10 as Comstock at the scores table for the Raiders with 10 seconds left third quarter. Horvath to Dorian against the Tiger zone. Back to Horvath, right wing with 5 seconds. Dorian, now to Evans, left baseline. Shot blocked from behind, out of bounds with 0.8 of a second left. Enough time for a catch and shoot now for the Raiders.
You get Comstock back in the game here.
Comstock comes in for LaFaso. Dorian looking around, still looking. Gets it to White. Tiptoes into the defense. It's knocked out of bounds, and that ends play in the third quarter.
Actually, it would be interesting because the ball was on the floor. There was still at least 0.6 of a second left, but couldn't get that clock stopped in time.
That does then play here in the third quarter. Our score after 3 as we head to the fourth. Rutland 44, Middlebury 34, back after the 30-second timeout. The championship round of the Rutland Boys Holiday Basketball Tournament from the Keefe Gymnasium. I'm Vince Allo with Rick Goeke. Garrett Anderson, our engineer, back at our palatial in dimly lit Door Drive Studios. I say dimly lit. I don't know if you've ever seen him when he's engineer for
Garrett? I've not watched him
lights off in the studio with a lamp going. Just need a leather couch and $200 an hour, and he's your therapist. Play underway, fourth quarter. Raiders have possession of the basketball. They're in the forecourt against the Tigers' own defense. Evans, right side hash mark. Over to Dorian between the circles. Shut off there. Sends it now for Comstock, right wing. He backs it up near the right sideline and sets it up top for Dorian. Over to Comstock, back to Dorian. Dorian, left wing for Evans now near the sideline. Up top now for Dorian. On the curl inside to White. Faces, fires. Good! 12-point lead for the Raiders. Nearly a steal by LaFaso, but he fouled Cohen of Middlebury. That's going to be the second on LaFaso, the 5th on the team.
Good hustle by LaFaso. He's had a good game, 14 points now.
Audette, Burns, Bertani, Collins, and Cohen on the floor for the Tigers. And Rutland's still in the zone defense. They bounce it to Audette, left wing to Collins, between the circles, over to Cohen, right sideline. Tries to bounce it to Bertani. Knocked away by White. I tell you, good ball game for Ced White off the bench.
Yeah, he's played a very good game, both ends of the floor. Some big baskets, some big defensive stops.
Off the inbounds, they get it to Burns, to Audette, right baseline, shut off there by White. Goes on White, leaves it off of Bertani, who lays it in from the left side. A minute into the fourth quarter, 10-point lead for the Raiders.
He was able to get loose left side, nobody on him.
Dorian to Evans. Between the circles to the left, now to White, right wing. To the right elbow, on the curl for LaFaso, to the left. Inside for Dorian. His left-handed scoop shot is good.
Great move by Dorian, laying it up and in.
Back the other way. Cohen operates. On the baseline, shut off there, out of bounds, off of Middlebury. It'll be Rutland ball as Cohen comes out, Meyer back in.
Well, Meyer sat out a long time, and I think that really helped the Raiders. He's only got 2 fouls.
Full court pressure now being applied by the Tigers as the Raiders inbounds to Dorian. Gets away from Cohen into the forecourt. We have a timeout, Rutland. Raider coach Mike Wood takes the timeout. It's a full timeout. 6:31 to play, fourth quarter. Raiders lead it by 12. Back after this 30-second timeout. Word from the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
Again, huh?
Scoreless at this point. Mark Bavaro's been listed as doubtful for the Giants tonight.
And that's a shame. They could use him.
However, for the Giants faithful, you'll be happy to know that Jeff Hostetler will be starting in place of Eli Manning. Raiders with the basketball and the 12-point lead. They send it to midcourt to Cedric White. Into the forecourt, hands it off for Dorian. Against now the Middlebury man-to-man. Dorian checked by Robinson, gets it over to Evans. Right wing. Evans, couple of dribbles and goes across court to the left now for LaFaso. Back to Dorian, three ball, around the rim, no good. Evans battles for it. It's rebounded by Burns. Outlet to Robinson in the forecourt. Gets by Dorian, goes to the bucket. Blocked out of there by White.
Good job of White getting to the other end of the floor. Robinson with the basketball to get down there and swat it away.
Out of bounds off of White's block shot. It'll be Tiger basketball on the baseline. They inbounds to Audette. Right wing, and Audette throws it into the broom closet. Nobody home for Middlebury. Turnover against the Tigers. Raider ball.
12-point lead with 6 minutes to go. Middlebury's got to start chipping away here. Got to cut down on the mistakes.
LaFaso against the Tiger man-to-man. Full court pressure. Now gets it to Dorian. Dorian into the forecourt for White. White over to LaFaso. Left hash mark. LaFaso takes it between the circles. Behind the back dribble. Sends it to the left for Evans. Up top now for Dorian against the double team. Someone's open for Rutland. And it's taken away by Burns. Here comes Middlebury. Burns. Left wing to the corner. Bounces it back for Audette. Audette over to Robinson. Raiders in the man-to-man as well. Robinson to Burns. Back to Meyer. Now to Robinson. Three ball. Left wing. Off the rim. Hits the cord up top of the backboard. It'll be out of bounds over to Rutland.
Second time today that's happened.
LaFaso inbounds to Comstock. 5.5 to play, fourth quarter. Raiders with the ball in the 12-point lead. Comstock backs it up against Burns now. Spins away from him, goes over to Cedric White, left of the arc. Back over to Comstock to the right. Comstock looks over to LaFaso on the left. LaFaso to Dorian now, top of the key, backs it up against Robinson. Dorian shut off there and gets it over to LaFaso. LaFaso, left side elbow over to Evans, left sideline. Evans backs it up top now. Checked by Meyer. Evans shut off there, gets the ball to Comstock. Comstock down the lane, shovels it off for White, off the backboard, no good. And it's saved on the end line by Middlebury. Ahead of the pack now for Meyer. On Evans to the left wing, shut off there, and Dorian takes it away for Rutland. Long up-court pass, LaFaso, he lays it in.
Football pass by Dorian, hit LaFaso at the other end for the touchdown.
14-point lead for Rutland as Robinson goes to the floor. Nearly turns it over. Comstock goes to the floor, and Burns steps on the sideline. Great hustle defensively for the Raiders.
I'll tell you what, that was a great pass by Dorian. In contrast, Robinson, when he passes it, he fires laser beams from one end of the floor to the other. That was just a pretty pass by Dorian, laid it into LaFaso.
Comstock looking around, gets the ball into White in the forecourt left wing. Has it wrestled away, but a foul on Paterney. That's the third on Paterney, only the third on the team. Raiders with 5 team fouls, 4:24 left, fourth quarter. It's a 14-point Raider lead. Off the inbounds, they go to Evans. In the corner on the left, checked by Meyer. Evans goes under the bucket, shot blocked by Paterney, foul by Paterney. That's the fourth.
2 quick ones by Paterney.
Going to send Akeem Evans to the free throw line for the Raiders to shoot 2 now with 4:19 to play fourth quarter.
He's 2 out of 3 from the line, 10 points in the night for Akeem.
Good. On the first free throw for Akeem Evans. A 15-point Raider lead, biggest lead of the ball game. Evans gets them both. Have a JP Carrera & Sons Raider MVP after the ball game during our Parker's Classic Auto postgame show. 4:11 now left to play as Burns roars to the bucket, left baseline, shut off there, but a foul on Akeem Evans. That's only the second on Akeem Evans and the sixth on the team, but it's a shooting situation now for Tucker Burns, 6'4" senior, number 11 for Middlebury.
Tucker Burns 2 out of 2 at the stripe, 5 points in the night.
Gets the first one, looks at the second one, no good. Rebounded by Meyer, and he's going to be fouled by Evans. This will be the third on Evans now, and the seventh on the team. It's a 1-and-1 for Tucker Meyer now for Middlebury.
Meyer's got 8 points, set out a good portion of that third period. He's been to the line once, came away empty.
Here's Meyer's free throw lead.
Yes, indeed. Got a little net.
Just leave it at that. Free throw deal. How do you spell that? It's an air ball anyway, but the Tigers applying the full court pressure now as the Raiders break it with Comstock in the forecourt. To the right sideline to White now. Backdoor pass to LaFosso. He laid it in.
Pretty pass by White. He's done a lot of good things for the Raiders. Doesn't have a ton of points, but he's been a big difference in this game.
Raiders lead it by 17. Robinson with the dribble. Loses it, but gets it to Burns. Burns shut off there, spins away, and LaFosso ties him up. Possession arrow favors Middlebury. As Oakley Clark and Eli Cohen, along with Ben Shaw, checking into the Tiger lineup for Audette, Burns, and Meyer.
Chris Althamos might be thinking
Next.
That's right.
Audette off the inbounds, checked by Comstock. Shut off there. Sends it back over to Cohen on the right wing. Cohen shut off right side by Dorian, looking around, gets it to Audette in the right corner, behind the arc, spins away from Comstock. Tries to shovel it inside, knocked away by LaFosso, saved into the hands of White. Great anticipation by LaFosso. LaFosso with it, down the right sideline, shut off there, gets it to Dorian, cross court to Comstock, can't come up with it. Out of bounds off of Comstock, who acknowledges to Dorian, my bad.
Yeah, high, but I think Comstock knows he shouldn't have been able to catch it.
Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the ball game, 17-point Raider lead. Audette attempts another three ball and makes it.
Got 15.
How many threes is that for him? 5? He's got 15 points, all of them on threes. Wow, that's impressive. Audette cuts the lead to 14. 2:45 to play fourth quarter. Evans with it for the Raiders. Between the circles to the right. Tries to fire it to Comstock on the baseline. Nobody home. Timeout, Rutland. Full timeout. Coach Mike Wood doesn't want to let Middlebury get any closer. With 2:40 to play in the ball game, it's a 14-point Raider lead back after this 30-second timeout. Showing on the clock here in this fourth quarter, it's a 14-point Raider lead in the championship game. The Rutland Holiday Basketball Tournament, boys basketball. Consolation game won by Mill River, 50-44 over MSJ earlier today. Girls Consolation and Championship coming up a little bit later on Vermont Sports Leader WSYB is Cohen in the forecourt. Leaves it off for Crystal, who checked in. Aaron Crystal. Over to Shaw. He shuffled his feet. He's attempted the shot on Evans. Turnover will give the basketball back over to the Raiders. Raiders have LaFosso, Dorian, Comstock, White, and Evans on the floor. Dorian in the backcourt. Gets it to LaFosso. Beats everybody to the timeline into the forecourt. Slows things down. Waits for Dorian, but hands it off to Comstock. Right hash mark. Comstock. Baseline now. Underneath and lays it in. Good, strong, aggressive move by Comstock. 16-point Raider lead.
Yes, indeed it was. 15 for Comstock now.
Into the hands on the left sideline for Crystal. Over to Cohen. Now Crystal has it, actually. That was Clark that had it before to Shaw. Now to Cohen. 3-ball left wing off the rim. No good. Rebounded by White. Wholesale substitutions coming. Next whistle for the Raiders, which just came a second ago as we have a foul on Oakley Clark, his second. Fifth on the team.
It's the sparkling white jersey.
Round of applause for the Raiders that come off the floor. Dorian, Evans, Comstock, White, and LaFaso. In now is Perry, Pep, Snyder, Horvath, and that might be Davin, number 11, Troy Davin. Perry on the bounce to Snyder. Minute 35 left in this ball game. Raiders lead it by 16. Over to Perry, right wing to Horvath. Horvath over to Pep now. To the left. Pep over to Davin. Right side. Bounces it across court for Perry. Perry shut off there. Gets it to Pep. Left wing in the corner. Now he sends it up top for Snyder. Snyder right side elbow. Over to Davin, who roars to the bucket. He got fouled on the perimeter on the drive by Crystal.
Crystal just stuck a knee out in front of him there. Picked up the foul. Horvath will inbound.
16 foul against the Tigers at the inbounds to Perry, right corner. Tries to go to Horvath, but throws it into the backcourt. It'll go out of bounds off of Perry. It was tipped, actually, so they're going to say it's Rutland ball. Rutland with a 16-point lead, a minute 7 left in this ball game. Perry slowly into the forecourt to Snyder. Snyder looks around, dribbles to the left elbow, and sends it over for Perry. Nobody home. Out of bounds off of the Raiders. It'll be Tiger ball. Under a minute to play. The Raiders lead it by 16.
Taking firm control here with some defensive pressure in the second half, and going to ride that to a victory.
Tigers operate in the forecourt. Out there is Meyer. That's Jeff Meyer for your Baltimore Orioles fans.
Jeffrey Bear?
Long three ball by Lawson. Cuts the lead to 13 as Pep has it in the backcourt. Sends it up into the forecourt for Horvath. Horvath on the bounce to a cutting Davin. He lays it in.
Troy Davin with a great scooper.
58-43. It's listed as Divine, but I think it is Davin. I'm not sure. I know that there was a Davin played last year. Played for MSJ, but there was a Davin that went to Rutland. With 7 seconds left, 58-43 to Snyder. Inside, lays it in. That will end play in this ball game. The Raiders win it. 60-43 over Middlebury is our final in the championship game of the Rutland Holiday Basketball Tournament. Time now for our Parker's Classic Auto postgame show. Final from Keith Gym. Rutland 60, Middlebury 43. Back after this 2-minute timeout.